Alright guys, so as you know, the Battlefield 6 open beta is now available to everyone. Everybody has been hopping on Battlefield 6 all weekend, and let me tell you, I am genuinely shocked at the reception of the Battlefield 6 beta. Not only is the beta running very well with minimal issues, people are actually loving the gameplay, they're loving the maps, the class system, and it feels like good old Battlefield is back again. And most importantly, it feels like DICE is back again as well. I think that's the most important thing here. Now, granted, the Battlefield 6 beta is not perfect. There's still some queuing issues, there's still some disconnects, some lag issues here and there, but overall, my experience has been absolutely incredible. I think this Battlefield is gearing up to be one of the best Battlefield games ever made. I have been having an absolute blast, and very rarely do I do this, but I've been playing until the sun comes up in the morning. Like, I have been completely addicted, guys, to this game, to the point where I look out the window, I'm like, oh my god, what time is it? It's 6 a.m. in the morning? What happened? And I just completely get lost in this game. And I also streamed it on the channel right here on YouTube yesterday, and everybody in the chat were just so excited about this game. There was so much positivity, everyone was giving it positive feedback, the comments were really good. And everybody in the live stream chat yesterday were asking, will we be getting a Battlefront 3 from DICE, since they are now pretty much wrapping up development of Battlefield 6. Now granted, there's going to be DLC for this game, there's going to be new maps, stuff like that coming in the future, but it sounds like the bulk of the work, of course, is done for Battlefield 6. So, does that mean that the developers who are now free to work on other projects are going to move on to Star Wars Battlefront 3? Well, here's my opinion on this. I think the answer to that question is a resounding yes, and I have a couple of reasons why I feel this way, and I don't want to hype up Battlefront 3 too much because, again, it might not be DICE making it. It could be a completely different development studio, but regardless, Battlefield 6 initial success like this bodes very well for DICE, and they are now in the running, in my opinion, for developing Battlefront 3. If I was Lucasfilm Games, I would definitely be paying attention to Battlefield 6, looking at all of the positivity around it, noticing a shift towards DICE in the positive light, and then reconsider them for a Battlefront 3. And actually, if you remember the rumors, it was EA that actually denied Lucasfilm and said, we don't want to make Battlefront 3. But that was years and years ago when they ended support for Battlefront 2. Now, fast forward many years later, we have the Battlefront 2 resurgence that occurred after that season of Andor, after the release of Episode 3 in the theaters, and after that Star Wars Fortnite event. So Battlefront 2 had a massive resurgence, and that definitely got the attention of EA. And now we're sitting here with the success of the Battlefield 6 beta, which is definitely good news for DICE. And my guess is also grabbing the attention of EA as well. So hopefully what's happening behind the scenes is Lucasfilm Games and EA are finally coming together and realizing that now is the perfect time for Battlefront 3. And a couple of years ago, I said, if I was a business person running Lucasfilm Games or EA, I would definitely want DICE to prove themselves as a developer first with their next Battlefield game, which of course is now Battlefield 6. So I think it's good that DICE is focusing on Battlefield this time around and actually nailing down their own IP and proving themselves as a developer, not only to us as gamers, but also to themselves, saying that yes, we are the type of development studio that is going to launch a game properly. We're going to put bad launches in the past, and we're going to finally get over this hurdle of being known as the developer that has bad launches. So as long as October 10th goes well for DICE and for Battlefield 6, I think the green light should be lit for Battlefront 3 for sure. If they don't do that, I think they're crazy at this point, because imagine how awesome Battlefront 3 would look on these next-gen consoles. And my guess is that Battlefront 3, of course, would probably take 2 to 3 years to develop and would end up on the PS6, on the next Xbox, and on the latest PC hardware. So it would look even better than what we see right here, which would be mind-blowing. And by the way, guys, if you did not realize this, this right here proves just how successful the Battlefield 6 beta has been. This was posted by Pirate Nation on Twitter. They said Battlefield 6 beta has surpassed Call of Duty and Warzone all-time peak on Steam with 520,000 concurrent players. This is absolutely insane. And this is also a true testament to the technical ability of DICE to handle all of these players hitting the servers. And again, I know we've had the queuing issues, like where you have to wait and queue in there, but my personal experience with this has been very limited wait times. I think the most I've waited on the queue is probably 20, 30 seconds, and that's it. It usually puts me into the game very, very quickly. Also, I wanted to throw this into the video as well. This is actually very important. This was posted by Variety.com, and this is about EA's involvement with Star Wars IPs, and kind of a tease that there might be another Star Wars game in development right now, according to this article, which could mean that they're talking about Battlefront 3. So this is what the Variety.com article said. It said, following the cancellation of EA's planned Black Panther game this May, questions have arisen about publishers' plans when it comes to licensed games. According to Melee, EA's current slate tied it to Disney and Marvel IP include the upcoming Star Wars Jedi 3 game from developer Respawn, large-scale mobile title Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, MMO Star Wars The Old Republic, as well as an Iron Man video game, and, get this, a few others that haven't been announced yet, end quote. So, could these few other games include Star Wars Battlefront 3? There's a lot of speculation going around about this Variety.com article, so sound off in the comments. Do you think that's what they're talking about? Now, what gets even more interesting about this article is it goes on to say the following. It says this right here. It says, for Melee, this is all about maintaining a really strong balance in our portfolio while forging EA's future in massive online communities. And I find that last part interesting, where they mention massive online communities, because of course, Battlefront 3 would be considered a massive online game. I mean, the multiplayer aspect of it would be absolutely huge. So could this be yet another tease about Battlefront 3 potentially being in development over at EA? So let me know what you think about this. I'm not going to read into that too much. I don't want to guarantee that Battlefront 3 is in development. But to me, I think signs are pointing to it more and more every day. I'm getting more and more excited, especially after the success of this Battlefield 6 initial beta. So, sound off in the comments below. Again, let me know what you want to see for Battlefront 3. Do you think it's going to happen? Sound off in the comments. I think we might have some very exciting times coming up ahead indeed. Well, I will see you all next time. Take it easy, and may the Force be with you always.